whoever's not here can watch it later. Okay. All right, so we're going to be using MyMathLab, and you guys should have received a code.
Is it this little thing right here?
Yes, that looks good. Yes. Thank you, Abby, for being our for showing us. I don't have one to show, but you have it. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to go to mymathlab.com, and then somewhere if you open up that little packet would be an access code. So if you guys, I don't know, so if y'all are able to, go ahead and you can do that now. Go ahead and just go to mymathlab.com and register. If you have your computer, if you're able to do that, go ahead. We can make sure we get it worked out. It shouldn't take too long to do that.
.com/mymathlab. There we go.
So are you doing the registration process for MyMathLab?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. It says we need a class or
The course ID. Okay.
Yeah, the course ID.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna look like this, and it's like a scratch off, and you'll have to scratch in the middle, like with a quarter or something, to get your code.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
the access code.
yeah.
but-
That's the access code, right? So that's your individual access code. Then you're also going to need the course ID.
Yeah.
And I have the course ID on, it's on the syllabus on the Canvas course, but here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and copy paste it into the chat also for everybody. So that's the course ID. The course ID, yeah, so there's two different things. There's the access code, which is that big, long, like 16-digit crazy thing that's inside of that little card that she was just showing you how you have to scratch off. So that's your access code. And then you're going to put that in. And then when it asks you for the course ID is Bankhead 94553, and I pasted that into our chat there. Bankhead 94553, and that can also be found on the syllabus on the Canvas course.
Do we just make up our own like username, or do you have one specifically for us? Okay.
Whatever you want to do for the username is fine. I think you can just use like your email address, just whatever's easy for you to remember, it's fine.
Oh, I gotta create one. Cool.
So I think, does everybody have the access code? Because I know that Christine Indy was telling me there was a couple students that added late and they didn't have the access code yet. Does anyone on here not have their access code? Let me know. Because, and I'll go ahead and say this just for anybody that may be watching later too, if you don't have your access code yet, you can actually get a temporary access that you can do. So I think when you go in there and it asks you if you have an access code, or it'll ask you like, do you have an access code or do you want to pay for one? And then there's also another option that says like pay later or something like that, or temporary access. So if you're one of the students who did not receive your access code yet, you can click on that pay later or temporary access option. So that way you can go ahead and get on there. And then they'll be getting that access code to you as soon as possible. So.
What was the course ID?
Okay, the course ID is Bankhead 94553. I've posted it in the Zoom chat and it's also available on the syllabus, but it's Bankhead 94553.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Looks like I'm good.
Okay, so you got in there, that's good.
And I went ahead and saved. Okay. Cool.
All right, so that is my math lab, and that is where we're going to be doing homework. So there will be online homework there for you, and so I've got 3 homework assignments that are already available for you. So I think hopefully you guys will find this. You can click on the left-hand side, there is something that says homework. Let's see, I'll go ahead and see if I can share this screen. So.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so once you go in, you should see something like this. And then you can just click on over on the like left-hand side menu over here, it says homework. So you could click on that and that's where you'll see all of the homework assignments. So like I said, here's the first 3 right here. And then it shows the due date and time of each one. So the first one I set for Friday at 3:20, and so there's that one, and then there's the next 2 are due Wednesday at 3:20. All right. So there's that. So we could you can click on one of these and then it'll show you all the questions, and you can just click on, let's say we click on question 1, it'll pop that up in a new window. I believe that Chrome and Firefox browsers are the best ones to use with this. So if, I would recommend avoiding using Internet Explorer, or Are you guys using Mac or PC?
I use
Or a
PC.
Chromebook? Is it like a Chromebook or?
Yeah, it's a Chromebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have a HP laptop, but I have Google Chrome instead of Internet Explorer because I just find that easier since we used it at school.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Chrome works good. That should be good. Yeah, if anybody has a Mac, it can be it definitely can work, but there might be some settings you need to play with to get it to work better for Mac, or iPhone or iPad or any of that stuff. You can actually, I think iPhone, it may not work on an iPhone. So you can do it on a lot of devices, but from what the last thing I've known, it really didn't work on the iPhone lately. So I don't know. But if you have an Android phone or if you have an iPad even, it should work. But anyways, if you have any questions about a specific device, I can try to help you with that. Anyways, okay, so when you open up your homework, here's your homework question. So the way this is going to work is you basically get 3 tries to answer that particular question. So you can just click on, are you guys see my screen here with the homework?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right, so you can click in the little answer box. And then one thing to notice is here at the bottom, you have all these little tools. So in case you need to, if your answer has a fraction or any of this stuff, square root or whatever, you can use these little buttons and stuff to type in those kind of answers. But anyway, let's just say that you can just type in an answer and then you can just hit enter to check the answer. Okay, so obviously I typed in the wrong answer. So, and then it'll give you some feedback to maybe help you answer the question. And then you can just hit enter again for okay. Just hit enter again. And then, so you have 3 chances to answer this particular question. Okay, so you can erase that, try a different answer, hit enter. Okay, that's wrong, hit enter again. And then you can try a different answer, hit enter. And then, okay, so that was my 3rd wrong answer. So they're okay, sorry, here's your correct answer. And then what you can do at that point is you can click on similar question. So you click on similar question and then it just reloads with a similar question. And then you have 3 chances to answer that question. And you can do that as many times as you want to until you basically get the right answer. Okay. And then another thing you can do if you're having trouble is over here on the right side of your screen, it says question help. Okay. So if you click on that, so the most commonly used option here that helps the most people is view an example. So if you click on view an example, and then it'll give you an example, and it will walk you step by step through the, how to solve the problem. And you just click continue until you get to the end. All right, so you can do that. So that's the first thing I would try if you're ever struggling with a homework question.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You can do, so if you click on help me solve this, what that's going to do is that's going to walk you step by step through the exact problem that you're working on. It's going to have you fill in little, parts and stuff like this. And then you'll basically work through, and at the end of this, you'll get to the correct answer of the question. But then you will, at the end, it's not, if you go through this process, it's basically going to count your question wrong because you used the help me solve this. So what you would have to do from that point is do a similar exercise. So you didn't do that reloads, you have to do a similar one. You kind of have to do it without the help me solve this in order to get credit for the question. So there's that option. And then another option is ask my instructor. So what that does is that will actually send an email directly to me And it will, I should probably change that to my school email. Yeah, I should change that to my school email. Because I get way too much email in my Yahoo. Never see stuff. Gotta make sure to do that. So anyways, what it'll do, it'll send me an email. You can type in something here. So it'll show me a link to the exact question that you were working on. And if you had already typed in an answer, it'll show me what that answer is. And that way I might be able to help you. You know, a lot of times I'm not going to be able to totally explain it via like email, but if you're looking at the example and there's a specific part of the example that you don't understand, you might say something like, I was looking at the example and I don't understand where they got this 3 or something like that. And that might help. Or what we could also do is I can just pull up that email and then we can go on Zoom and then I can just explain it to you, you know, and that would, you know, be easier. So, so that's what that does. Let's see. Okay. I thought I heard a sound like maybe someone else was trying to join the meeting, but I'm not sure. All right. Let's see. Okay. So every time that you check the answer or whatever, it automatically saves your progress. So you don't have to worry about, like, you can just stop in the middle and just come back to it later. You know, you don't have to click save or submit or anything. It's just like automatically saved. Every time you check an answer, it's automatically saved. So, all right. Let's see. Okay. Do you guys have any questions about my math lab or anything at this point?
Is this going to be the only thing that we will be using as far as like math stuff goes, like homework and like assignments?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, it's pretty
Unless
much
you send us like
everything.
directly something through Canvas.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything else. It'll probably just pretty much be this. There's on Canvas though is where I have like my notes and things like that. But as far as assignments, it'll all be on my math lab. As far as I know, you know, like if I think of something else I want to do on Canvas, I'll let you know. But I'm thinking it's pretty much all going to be on my math lab for all the homework, and then you know. We'll have like an exam. I don't know. I think I was going back and forth on like if I want to have like 1 exam or 2 exams. Let's see. What did I say? Yeah, I said I'm just going to have the final exam. So that'll be on my math lab as well.
Okay.
So, all right. Let's see. So let's see. Can you guys see the syllabus right here on my screen, or is it still
Not yet?
okay? Okay. Let's see. So did you guys, they should have given you a calculator. Did they send y'all a calculator?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You can show us, Abby.
Oh yeah, I just dropped it. Hold on. Don't worry, I have my case on.
There we go. That's the calculator. All right, so that's a scientific calculator. And so that is, that's the main one that we use in most college classes, I would say. So at Weatherford College, they are pretty strict about calculator usage. Like for college, even like anything up through college algebra, they don't allow any calculator whatsoever. which at first, when I first heard that, I thought, oh my gosh, that's horrible. But now that I've been teaching there a few years, it's really not that bad, actually. You know, they always make sure that they are not giving you like, you know, really big numbers you have to deal with or anything like that. Then at TCC, that calculator, that's the calculator that's used at TCC. I also teach at TCC part-time. I haven't in a little while, but that's the calculator that they use like for their college algebra and things like that. So I think it's a pretty good calculator. But at the same time, it doesn't do everything for you, kind of like the graphing calculators. You know, we see in college that students really don't know how to graph because all they've ever done is just plug it in a calculator. So you know, graphing is really important. It's important to understand that. So that's why I didn't want you guys using a graphing calculator for this class. All right, so like I said, this is my first time doing Upward Bound. I was told that my goal should be to prepare you guys for taking pre-cal in the fall at your high school. And then also, you know, kind of gonna give you a little bit of a introduction to college class. Sorry about the motorcycle sound. Like I said, this is my grandpa's office, and he's really into motorcycles, and he has a clock that like makes motorcycle noises, like I guess every hour on the hour. Makes motorcycle noises.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah. My grandpa is a really interesting guy. Okay. So, all right, so let's see, on the syllabus. So you can find this little syllabus on Canvas. I guess all of you guys have been on to Canvas. I'm like I said, I'm assuming y'all know how to get on there if that's how you got the link for this meeting and everything. So, and yeah, this syllabus is on there. And it's got my email, so you can email me anytime. I do get those emails on my phone, and I usually respond pretty quickly. So feel free to email me anytime. I'm like a night owl, so yeah, so if you want to email me late at night, I'll probably respond. Whereas if you email me early in the morning, it might be a few hours. So. And I went ahead and put my office phone number on there. That's my office at Weatherford College. So obviously I'm not there, but if for whatever reason, if you wanted to call that, if you leave a voicemail, I do get those voicemails on my email as well. So if you for some reason you want to do that, that's fine. It's up to you.
But email would be like the quicker way.
Like I said, if you leave a voicemail, I will get that on my email just the same, so and I can listen to it. So it just depends on if you feel like there's something that you need to explain in a voicemail, that it's easier for you to to say whatever you need to say on a voicemail. That's fine. And then so it's up to you. But it probably, in most cases, is easier to use the email. So. All right, so and my plan is to do these Zooms every Tuesday, Thursday at 3:30, and actually like do the lecturing via Zoom, and that way you guys will be able to, ask questions and things like that. Because I figured, I'm going to be recording lessons anyway, so I might as well do it live where you guys can ask questions. And I think that'll be beneficial, so for everybody. And then I'll save the recordings also, so that way you can always watch them later, or if anybody that can't come to the Zoom can always watch them later as well. All right. Okay, so as far as the grade, it's going to be 50% homework and then 50% exam. And like I said, I'm just planning on doing the one final exam at the end. It's all going to be on MyLabs Plus. And I've got the due dates on there. I'm not planning on extending those. So, you know, make sure you pay attention to that. And I think probably for the final exam, I'm going to be proctoring it via Zoom. So I might offer like a couple of different times to see what works best for everybody. But that is, I don't know, that's what I'm thinking I want to do. So just to make sure that, you know, you're actually the person who's taking your exam mainly is what I'm looking for. All right. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions about anything? Okay, let's see. Okay, so as far as the material that we're going to cover, like I said, my goal is to prepare you for pre-cal, and I don't know, I really have no idea what you know and what you don't know, you know? So what I want to do is I'm going to select some of the topics that I just know that most people seem to have the most difficulty with and go over those. And I'm starting with some really basic stuff. So if it's too basic for you, I'm sorry, but I think everybody will benefit from it. And a lot of people, I think some of the issue is a lot of people think, oh, that's so easy, I don't even need to think about it. But and then because of that, they are not paying attention and they end up making silly mistakes. So so I wanted to go over some real basic stuff today, and then we'll advance as we go on throughout the semester. So on Canvas, if you go on to Canvas, let's see, I have notes there that you can look at. Let's see, I think I usually put them under modules. Let's see. Okay, so here's our Canvas class. Let's see. If we click on modules, did I put them there? Yeah. Yep. So if you click on modules, so those are the blank notes that I wanted to go over. So I pretty much just copied like some notes that I already had from other classes. So let's see. So the first one is, so I just called it lesson 1, and it's adding and subtracting integers. All right, so let me see. Okay. All right. So adding and subtracting integers. So first of all, I want to make sure you know what an integer is. That's a fancy sounding word, but it's basically just positive and negative whole numbers. That's what integers means. The reason I wanted to go over this is mainly because of negatives, and a lot of people have difficulty when it comes to negative numbers and make a lot of mistakes when it comes to negative numbers. So that's why I wanted to go over this. And even though you have a calculator, and sure, you can always put things into your calculator, but like I said, I think people take for granted, oh, that's easy, but oops, it's not, because you make mistakes. So let's see. I have, let me think about, I have something called Learning Catalytics, which allows me to like give you guys questions and then have y'all answer them. And then I can, so it doesn't, I'm not looking at who answered what, and I'm not looking at it for any kind of a grade. I'm just looking at it just so I can see what you guys know or don't know. And so Learning Catalytics, the way you get to it is through my math lab. So if you guys are able to go to my math lab, go back over to my math lab and just go back to see if you can go back to the main course page.
So when you screen share, we can't minimize or oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry, yeah, this is my first time doing this, so I think you were trying to tell me that when I screen share, y'all can't go to other screens. Is that what she's trying to tell me?
Just minimize the thing you're on, and then you can go to the Pearson thing.
Yeah, I know that, but it won't let me do it when she's got the screen sharing on, or I'd have to leave the chat. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go.
Okay, yeah, I stopped the screen sharing, but so yeah, just go. Okay, so go to your My Math Lab and try to go back to the course home of that, and then if you scroll down, you'll see at the bottom there's a little box with an orange border, and it says, well, I'm not sure how yours looks exactly, but we're looking for something that says Learning Catalytics.
Okay. Oh, okay, so it's gonna be ours is up where it says Pre-Calculus Upward Bound 2020, where the title is. It's directly across from it. It's says LC, and it's a little gray box. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, so so when you went to Learning Catalytics, what do you see?
So when it pulled up a separate tab or a separate thing, almost like Zoom, and it just says join live session, and it's asking you to put in a session ID, and you can check past scores.
Okay, see if you can, okay, go ahead and join the live session.
What would be the session ID?
Okay, I'm surprised it's asking you for that, but okay. The session ID is 819-70049.
Please wait for the next question to become available.
Okay, let's see. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, I'll go ahead and deliver this question. So, okay, I'm going to deliver the question and just answer it without using a calculator. Just answer it as quickly as you can. Okay. All right. Is anybody else able to join the Learning Catalytics session? Only have like a couple people on there. I'm just trying to see if.
Can you tell me the ID?
Okay. The ID is 81970049. And I posted it in the chat as well.
Don't do that. No.
Okay. Okay, it looks like everybody who's on the Zoom is also on there, so that's good. Okay. All right. All right, cool. Let's see. All right. Okay, good deal. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all I'll give y'all another question here. So like I said, please don't use the calculator. Just answer it as quickly as you can. I'm just trying to see where you guys are at. All right. Okay. Okay, here's another one for you. All right. Okay, so you guys are doing pretty well on these, so I won't spend too much time talking about it, but basically we're talking about adding and subtracting negative numbers. And so to me, the best way to help you think about this is to think about your bank account. Do y'all have bank accounts?
I do.
Okay, good. All right, so you know, if you think about if you have a checking account and you have a debit card, you know, let's say if your account has $2 in it and you go on your debit card and you charge, you know, $5, then that was 2 minus 5, so you ended up with -3, right? Or let's say, okay, so this last question that I just posed to you guys was -3 minus 2. Okay, so the way to think about that would be if your account is already overdrawn by $3 and then you charge $2 more on your debit card. So what is your balance going to become? Now it's going to become -5, right? Okay. All right, let's see. So let's do, here's another, I'm going to give y'all another question on Learning Catalytics. and just go ahead and answer. Okay, good deal. So that was -5 plus 9. So that would be like, let's say your account's overdrawn by $5 and you deposit $9. Now your balance has come up to $4. Okay, good deal. Okay, here's another one for you. Go ahead and answer. Okay, good. So that's 2 plus -6. So that's basically the same thing as saying 2 minus 6. So that comes to be -4. All right. Here's another one for you. You can go ahead and answer. Okay. All right, so that is 5 minus -3. So whenever you see 5 like minus a negative, you want to automatically change that to a plus. So that basically becomes the same thing as 5 plus 3. Okay, so all right, so if I had, I don't know if y'all can see this, but you have 5 minus -3, right? So that was the question that I asked you. Okay, so as soon as you see those two negative signs right next to each other, just automatically just like turn both of them into a plus like that. So it just basically becomes 5 plus 3. All right. And so if it's 5 plus 3, of course, then we know the answer would be 8. So 8 would be the correct answer for that. All right. All right, I'm going to give you guys another question to answer. You can go ahead and answer it. All right, good deal. All right, so the question was -4 plus -5. Okay, so if you wanted to, so basically, if you're thinking about your bank account, you could say that your account is overdrawn by $4. And then this, when you're adding a -5, you're adding like another charge on your debit card of $5. So now your account's going to be even more overdrawn than it was. So now it's going to be at -9. All right. So like if you're basically adding two negative numbers, so therefore you are you're just adding them and keeping the negative sign, basically, is one way to think of it. That's also the exact same thing as saying like -4 minus 5. That would be the same thing. Okay. All right. Here's another question for you to answer. Okay. All right, so that question was -1 minus 8. All right, so that is like if your account is at -$1 and then you spend $8, it now becomes even more negative. So it turns into -9. All right. All right. Does anybody have any questions about any of this? Questions, comments? All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, I guess. Does anybody have any questions or comments about anything at all? All right. I really appreciate all you guys being here and participating with me. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. Go ahead and start working on that first homework assignment. Just to let you know, the way that I had to make the homework assignments, you might notice like one question on the end that seems really random. And that doesn't have anything a whole lot to do with the rest of the assignment. And I just had to make it that way. It just is what it is. So just, you know, hopefully you can just deal with that. Okay. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, please email me. And then I look forward to seeing you guys again on Thursday, same time. And if anybody, if you want to hang out, if you have any individual things that you need to talk to me about, I'll hang out here for a few minutes. And otherwise, have a great day and thank you so much.